You ever witness a wedding so perfect it made you sick, and then someone, or three someones, just blew it all to pieces? That's what happened at the Sinclair Grand Hotel. A scene so pretty it could blind you, until a scream ripped through the air and three little kids crashed straight down the aisle, yelling over the orchestra and the priest's blessing like the whole world needed to hear their secret. The boy with the iron jaw shouts, "Don't marry her." His sister, wild-eyed and brave, adds, "She only wants your money." And then the youngest, bold as a dare, delivers the line that breaks the room in two. "You're our dad." Silence explodes into chaos, every phone out, every mouth open, every dream the Sinclair family ever sold, crashing down in a mess of diamonds and disbelief. Roman Sinclair, the king of hotels in his ivory tux, just stands there, frozen, espresso skin pale, staring at the three faces that mirror his own so perfectly, it's almost funny. Vanessa Harrington, the bride draped in jewels, tightens her grip on his arm and hisses like the devil in a wedding dress, but the kids won't budge. Their Sunday best is a little crooked, but their voices are steady, like fate itself lined them up for this showdown. And then, through the stunned crowd, she appears. Renee, the woman Roman left behind. No diamonds, no designer, just this grace that hushes gossip before it can breathe. "If you dare marry her," she calls out, voice shaking but clear, "look into their eyes and tell me they're not yours." Roman can't. He just can't do it. And now Vanessa's ripping her hand free, shrieking, "Pathetic, dragging children into this circus just to ruin me." But Renee stands taller, her golden brown skin catching the light, her eyes fierce. "They came for the truth," she says, and the triplets are right beside her. Hope, King, and Truth. Faces trembling, voices unbroken. "She's not our dad's real wife." Truth yells at Vanessa. "She doesn't love him. We want him to love our mom." Twitter explodes, Insta's on fire, and by midnight, Sinclair's wedding is the scandal of the year. Angela Sinclair, Roman's mother, sweeps in like a queen on a mission. "This farce ends now," she snaps. But Roman won't move, can't move, even as the empire he's built begins to teeter. For the first time in forever, he's face to face with the life he left, with kids he never knew. The crowd parts as security moves in, but Roman drags Renee and the triplets into a side room. The door slams, but it's only just begun. "What the hell are you doing?" Roman growls at Renee. "You ruined my wedding, my life." But she doesn't back down. "Your life? What about theirs? You left me, but you don't get to erase them." One by one, the kids step forward, their voices trembling but brave. "You're our dad," Hope whispers. "I don't care what you say," King adds. "We just wanted you to know." For a moment, Roman's armor cracks, but pride is stubborn, and he throws up his walls. "You expect me to believe this?" he spits. "You show up after all these years with three kids who look like me?" Renee's voice cuts through the air. She never wanted this circus, she wanted truth. "You owe them, Roman." His mind floods back to Harlem. 8 years ago, walking with Renee under streetlights, believing for a minute he could be more than a Sinclair. But Angela had found them. "She's beneath you," his mother had thundered. "Leave her or lose everything." And Roman had chosen money, or maybe just fear. When Renee learned she was pregnant, alone, she built a life from nothing. 2 jobs, skipped meals, a doctor friend named Lennox who stepped up when Roman disappeared. Lennox was the anchor, but Renee's heart never let go of the man who walked away. Now, here in this hotel suite, she stands firm. "While you built an empire, I built a family." The triplets look at their father, longing and hurt in their eyes. Roman feels it, that ache he'd buried, but pride still wins out. He demands proof, DNA tests, anything but the truth staring him in the face. Renee agrees. "Test every drop of blood, because I have nothing to hide. Can you say the same?" And across town, Vanessa and Angela plot in the shadows. She wants the empire. Vanessa hisses, and Angela nods. Make her regret it. The kids hear every word. Later, at home, they huddle together, small voices lost. "Dad doesn't want us," Truth says. "We don't need him. We have Mom." Next morning, the world wakes up to headlines. Sinclair wedding, secret triplets, billionaire scandal. Roman faces his boardroom, investors spitting fire about stock prices and reputation. Either make this go away or we walk. Roman's hands tremble as he insists, I'll handle it. But inside he's lost, confronted, finally, with a mess no money can fix. Meanwhile, Vanessa issues an ultimatum. Deny them publicly or she'll leave. Angela presses harder. Walk away from them. Keep the Sinclair name or lose everything. And at school, the triplets face cruelty. Bet they only showed up for money. But they hold their heads high. Small warriors in a battle they never chose. That night, Roman visits Renee's apartment, stunned by the warmth of a home built on nothing but love. Don't look at them like a burden, Renee warns. Unless you're here to be their father, leave. And he does, heart thundering, world spinning, the truth burning in his chest. Days later, the DNA envelope lands on Roman's desk like a ticking bomb. 99.9% probability, there's no denying it now. But even as the truth sets him free, it threatens to destroy everything he's ever built. Vanessa and Angela close ranks, plotting smear campaigns, digging into Renee's life, ready to bury her under debt and scandal. At the gala, Renee walks in with the triplets, courage shining where diamonds can't. Vanessa sneers, courage won't buy you class. But Renee just answers, class is how you treat the people you love. The room hushes, and Roman's world tilts. Two women on either side, his empire or his family, the weight of every wrong decision pressing down. But power never protected anyone from themselves. In the end, love is risk. When the final confrontation explodes, fake documents, public accusations, and Renee humiliated before the world, Roman is forced to choose. And when the truth comes out, when the lies are exposed and the world sees Vanessa for who she is, Roman stands at the podium and declares, they are my children, my family. I choose them. Cameras flash, applause rises, and for a moment, Roman is free. Free from pride, from fear, from the chains of an empire built on silence. That night, in Renee's tiny apartment, the family is finally whole again. But as Roman pulls his children and Renee into his arms, the city beyond still hums with danger. Vanessa and Angela haven't surrendered, and the scars of the past don't heal overnight. So tell me, was Roman right to finally break free? Is love enough to rebuild what pride destroyed? Or is this just another storm waiting to hit? If this story made you feel something, drop a comment below. Who do you believe? Who do you root for? And what would you have done if you were in Roman's shoes? Because some stories aren't about happily ever after. They're about fighting for a chance at it. If I made your day, comment below. Mr. Hope, you are the best. Tell me what you think about justice, loyalty, and second chances. I want to hear your voice. You know, people think that when the truth finally comes out, the war is over, like the confession's the end of the story. But let me tell you, for the Sinclairs, that press conference wasn't closure. It was just the start of a new kind of storm, the kind where old wounds bleed into fresh ones and enemies don't retreat, they regroup. Next morning, the headlines blaze across Manhattan. Billionaire claims secret family. Vanessa betrayed. Paparazzi swarming outside Renee's tiny Harlem building. The kids peeking out the window, torn between pride and fear. Inside, Roman's confession is still ringing in the air, but so is the echo of every betrayal before. Roman, for the first time, tries to step up, showing up for school drop-offs, helping Hope with her art project, catching King's soccer game in the rain, sitting with Truth at the kitchen table late at night, trying to tape together a science volcano that keeps collapsing in on itself. Maybe a metaphor, you know? The kids watch him, guarded. Hope softens first, slipping a beaded bracelet onto his wrist. Don't take it off, Dad. King tests his boundaries, letting Roman cheer when he scores. But Truth, stubborn and sharp, keeps his distance, his eyes saying what his words won't. Prove it. Renee sees it all, her heart pulled in 1,000 directions. Lennox, steady as always, is there to patch up scraped knees, pay overdue bills, be the man who never left. One night, after Roman's gone, Lennox sits beside her at the kitchen table, the city humming outside. He broke you once, Lennox says gently. Don't let him do it again. She wants to promise she won't, but she can't, because every time Roman tucks the kids in, every time he apologizes for the years he missed, a piece of her wants to believe. But the world outside doesn't wait for hearts to heal. Vanessa and Angela are plotting, meeting in dark penthouse corners with champagne and spite. Vanessa digs up every scrap she can on Renee. Old debts, eviction threats, photos of her walking home late from a shift. Angela's got lawyers drafting custody motions, private investigators whispering about unfit motherhood. And one night, Angela corners Renee in a Blacktown car, envelope thick with cash in her gloved hand. "Take it and disappear," she says, pearls gleaming. Renee just laughs, pushes the envelope back. "Blood doesn't need your permission," she fires back. "We're Sinclair's whether you like it or not." The next day, the tabloid machine goes into overdrive. Is Renee Sinclair fit to raise billionaires' heirs? The kids see the headlines at school. Other children jeer, call them gold diggers, frauds, mistakes. Hope comes home crying. King is all fists and rage. Truth just goes silent. Roman sees the damage and, for the first time, truly feels what he's done, how every move he made to protect his empire cut deeper into his own family. So he calls another press conference, stands on the same marble floor, this time not to defend himself, but Renee. "She raised them with love I never gave. She is their mother, and I will defend her until my last breath." The world is moved, but the boardrooms aren't. Stock prices wobble, investors call for his resignation, and Angela threatens to disown him. Vanessa, desperate now, plays her final card, a forged document, supposedly signed by Renee years ago, demanding hush money in exchange for keeping the children's secret. She waves it at a charity gala, cameras clicking, the whole city watching. Roman looks at Renee, pain and doubt in his eyes. "Tell me the truth. Did you sell them out?" Renee's heart shatters right there in front of everyone. "You really think I could do that?" she whispers, and before he can answer, she leaves, kids in tow, every head turning away as she passes that Roman's world caves in. He drinks, rages, curses himself, curses the life his mother built for him. Then, a twist. One of Vanessa's own investigators comes forward, guilt finally winning over greed, and hands Roman an affidavit, notarized in cold, admitting it was all a lie, all a setup, Vanessa's doing from start to finish. Roman confronts Angela. "You poisoned me against the only woman I ever loved. I won't let you win this time." He storms out, no longer her soldier, just a father and a man with nothing left to lose. That he goes to Renee's apartment. The kid's reluctant, Renee stone-faced. "I was wrong," Roman says, voice shaking. "If you ever give me another chance, I'll prove it in front of the world." Renee looks at him, tired and raw. Words aren't enough. "Prove it." So he does. The next gala, the same ballroom where everything fell apart. He stands up, confesses the truth, exposes Vanessa's lies, and renounces the Sinclair empire if that's what it takes to win back the family he almost lost. That it's not a fairy tale ending. Nothing is wrapped in a bow. Vanessa is ruined, but not gone. Angela's pride is shattered, but she's not finished. The city will never stop talking. But in a little Harlem apartment, a broken family starts to heal. Kids laughing as they play cards at the kitchen table, Roman and Renee side by side, hesitant but hopeful. Is forgiveness possible after all this? Is love enough to rebuild what power tried to destroy? Or is this just a calm before the next storm, another chapter waiting to be written? You tell me, does Roman deserve a second chance, or are some wounds too deep to ever really close? Drop your answer in the comments, share what you do, and tell me, does family matter more than blood, more than money, more than pride? Because sometimes the hardest battles are the ones we fight inside our own home. That if this story made you question what's right, let's talk. Comment your take. Who do you forgive? Who do you blame? And what would you do for your own family if everything was on the line?